It's one thing for me to tell you guys that our mainstream media sucks. It is one thing for me as an outsider, someone who has never worked in the mainstream media before. It is one thing for me to tell you that our media is essentially worthless. But it is completely different when what Uncle KC has been saying for years is confirmed by someone on the inside, which is exactly what happened this past weekend when Bobby Burak from Outkick interviewed Mike Wilbon. If you haven't read the interview, I highly recommend it. The primary topic of discussion was this ongoing catfight between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. I don't know about you guys, but I'm over it. But what really caught my attention was the candor of Mike Wilbon when talking about sports media. Mainly, his willingness to be honest about the complete lack of sports coverage at ESPN. Like I've been telling you guys for years, the so-called worldwide leader in sports, they're arguably the worst when it comes to covering sports. Mike Wilbon called out ESPN for their relentless coverage this season of Bronny James. I believe the word he used was pandering. He claimed that the only reason ESPN was covering the spawn of Bron was to get clicks and views. Mike Wilbon openly admitted the business of sports media is a piece of shit. His words, not mine. He said that no one is having tough conversations anymore. No one is doing real journalism, which is true. I mean, it's kind of hard to publish journalism when you don't hire journalists. It's kind of hard to provide analysis when your lead analyst in the NFL was hired because she bonded with her daddy over the Seattle Seahawks. And your lead analyst in the NBA was the equipment manager for his high school basketball team. Mike Wilbon alluded to the fact that remote work has damaged sports media. People are no longer working in newsrooms where they can bounce ideas off of each other, where young people can rely on veterans like Mike Wilbon who know what the hell they're talking about, to tell them when their idea is the drizzling shits. But one of his main points of contention with media, it's their obsession with clicks and views, their obsession with ratings. He mentioned that ESPN has provided more coverage of Bronny James this season than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just think about that. ESPN has given more coverage to a kid in the G League while overlooking the dude that's probably going to be the most valuable player in the league. On the surface, it doesn't make sense. And I understand the frustration, I get it, but this is one point where I will defend sports media. There's a reason they cover Bronny James while ignoring Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the reason is the audience. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble upon this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Link to the main channel's in the description below. As you guys know, I am no defender of the worldwide leader in woke, ESPN. Outside of PTI with Mike Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser, vast majority of shows on ESPN are soap operas, manufactured drama, polished turds. I actually prefer FS1 over ESPN. Colin Cowherd, I like watching First Things First with Nick Wright and Chris Broussard, even though it's hard to watch and it's hard to take Nick Wright seriously when his hair is styled by a blind clown. If I want to hear about the drama in the NBA, I'll watch ESPN. If I want to hear about the actual game, I'll watch FS1. There is this false notion that ESPN only talks about LeBron James and the Lakers. Even though their coverage of Bronny has been excessive, it's not like they're talking about the spawn of Bron every day. First Take, they will talk about Oklahoma City. They'll talk about the Celtics, the Nuggets. Hell, Stephen A. Smith, he enjoys tarnishing the reputation of Kawhi Leonard, so they damn sure talk about the Clippers. But the primary narrative with ESPN is they only talk about LeBron James and the Lakers. Why? because that's the only videos people are watching. Here is a list of the last few videos that were posted by First Take. The most recent video, they were talking about Cooper Flag and March Madness. Second video, they were discussing the decline of the Lakers and how the Lakers could be in trouble. Then they had a video discussing Tom Izzo and his complaints with the transfer portal. And there was another video where they were talking about Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. Guess which video had the most views by a significant margin? Just take a wild guess. And look, I didn't even mention the video with Stephen A. Smith's response to LeBron James' interview with Pat McAfee. That video has 1.2 million views, which is more than every other video in that list combined. This isn't rocket science. It's not hard to figure out why ESPN is following the advice of Dennis Allen and they keep doing what they're doing. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I agree with it. Like I said, I prefer FS1 over ESPN, but it's not hard to figure out why they're doing it. This is pure speculation on my part. If I had to guess, FS1 is appealing to an older audience, while ESPN is appealing to the kids. Guys my age and older, we're still watching games. Kids aren't watching games, they're watching highlights. Guys my age, we're more interested in what's happening on the court. While this younger generation, they seem to be more interested in what's happening on social media. Ooh, what did LeBron James say about Cooper Flag? Who cares? This is why I didn't understand why the NBA was so quick to re-sign with ESPN. Adam Silver is constantly complaining about the coverage of the league. Then he re-signs with the network that's responsible for the coverage. That makes sense to me, but what the hell do I know? I haven't spent the last 30 years wasting millions of dollars to keep the lights on in the WNBA dump. But give me your thoughts on this. Mike Wilbon expresses his disgust with ESPN and sports media. Is he right? Is it the media's fault, or are they simply catering to what their audience wants? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.